Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. We have a jam packed show for you today. So excited to share with you because today is World Caring Day, and I want you to care right along with me. And we're going to talk about it coming up on an all new episode of Project Joy Live. Join us right now. Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is Friday, June 7th, 2024. I hope you are doing amazing today. And if you are not amazing yet, we have a show full of good vibes for you today on Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. So excited that you're here with us for this triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. I want to give a special welcome in today to anyone joining us from the Positively Narcolepsy group, led by the incredible Dawn Super, which you guys have seen here on the Breakthrough Show Network. So we want to give them some extra love and joy today because that's what it's all about. It's all about the joy. We have a great show on tap for you today, and I'm ready. Are you guys ready to just dive in? I'm excited and ready to go. Here we go. It's time for the morning brew where we talk all about what's happening on Project Joy Live this morning. It is World Caring Day, and the majority of the episode today is going to be spent on that, which kind of encompasses a few different segments that we do here on the show. It's going to encompass our moment of compassion. What else? Celebrate today. Our daily uplift. It's going to encompass a lot of different things. And so that's why it's going to be a majority of our show today. But as we are going on thinking about World Caring Day, my question for you this morning is, what is something that you care very deeply about? And just drop it in the comments. Okay. So we're going to be thinking about that as the show goes on. I'm excited to kind of dive in a little bit and find out how that can increase our joy, our compassion, our love, all of these things that we want to experience that I believe ultimately make the world a better place. And so chime in on that below. What is something that you really care very deeply about? I've gotten a couple of answers over on social media that I'll be sharing as well. So excited about that today. And then after we go to break, we are going to have birthdays, and we have a long list of birthdays today because I have to talk about some important birthdays that happened yesterday. We have birthdays today. I have to mention a couple birthdays that are important over the weekend. And so I'm going to for sure have to take at least 3 breaths in the middle of today's birthday song. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. What else is happening? Then I'll be telling you what's coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network the rest of today and over the weekend. Lots of great stuff happening as usual. And it's nice to see our calendar filling up. We've always got something great and wonderful and amazing going on. And I have like 8 million pop-ups on my phone this morning. I'm looking at my notes and then like pop up. I'm on a show. So I'm excited to dive into to all of that goodness with you coming up later on in the show. But in honor of World Caring Day, I have my tea, of course, in my Care Bear mug, because Care Bears come from a little place in the sky with clouds and beautifulness called Care-a-Lot. And so I feel like we can learn a lot from the Care Bears who just care because that is who they are. And I think we can tie that into what we do here on Project Joy Live, that we are joy just because it's who we are. We're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for always happiness, which we know is very different than joy, as we've talked about that here. And so we're gonna lean into that Care Bear vibe today. So if you're willing to lean into that Care Bear vibe with me, drop some rainbow emojis down in the comments today. And with that, we are going to get into our. I'm going to go ahead and use the moment of compassion, little breezeway as I call it here, because this encompasses so many things. We're going to get into our topic today, which is World Caring Day. All right, all right, all right. So, Miss Brittany's here, front row VIP. Happy Friday, Miss Brittany. Always good to see you today. So, listen, um, one of the things I really care about is that people find value in the shows that I share here on the Breakthrough Show Network, whether it's me hosting or somebody else hosting, or it's an event that we're putting on or something like that. It's very, very, very important to me that people find value in that. And I care a lot about it. And so it means a lot to me when someone takes the time to express what the work that I've done has meant to them. And Brittany really takes the time to do that often. She really, really fills up my cup. Which is, what's interesting, because I want to digress for just a moment, but a lot of people talk about love languages, and I feel like my love language depends on the situation that I'm in. Like, where my work is concerned, my love language is 100% words of affirmation. That's why I love having interactive live shows like this, where we're having a conversation. It is 100% words of affirmation. But outside of my work, that's not my thing. Like, I definitely don't lean into words of affirmation at all outside of work. So I'm just going down a rabbit hole with that for a moment. Miss Nancy joining us this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, my friend. Always good to see you here. So we're talking about World Caring Day. And I want to bring up the information provided by National Day Calendar really quickly here, and read what it says there. But I have kind of like you guys with me for the rabbit hole today. I've kind of a rabbit hole detour journey that I want to take with you with this morning, as it ties into love, compassion, joy, all of those things. So each year on June 7th, according to nationaldaycalendar.com, World Caring Day shines a spotlight on all the ways we connect and show each other how much we care. After all, we should always take time to celebrate the millions of acts of caring that we see. All acts of caring, whether big or small, are important. Caring is continuous and happens every day through compassion, support, kindness, and understanding. I love how it said compassion there, see? So hashtag World Caring Day. In a world of many worries, one of the easiest ways to show love is by caring. We all experience times of crisis, illness, or need. Sharing our journeys and becoming a part of a beautiful story is a segmented, cynical world, recognizes and celebrates the people who care. When we take time to notice, we see patience, understanding, kindness, and encouragement from everyone around us. We want to use World Caring Day as a way to remind others to take the opportunity and practice caring for one another. Now more than ever, we need to lean into caring for one another. Using this day as an opportunity to share compassion and shows genuine love as a blessing to ourselves and others. By sincerely asking how someone's day went will show that you care. And there's a pop-up. Whee! This simple act will improve that person's overall well-being. Celebrating everyone as they share stories of caring recognizes and honors both those who care and those who are cared for. On June 7th, we encourage everyone to rededicate themselves by recognizing, sharing, and participating in acts of caring by, one, asking how someone is doing with intent and meaning. Ooh, this is a big one. How many times have someone says, "Hey, Jessica, how are you?" And you've said, "I'm great. How are you?" Like, without kind of a breath, without thinking, "Do I really want to know how they are?" Have you ever said how you feel honestly and then wondered if the person really wished they would have asked you that? It becomes this how are you has come sort of I think a second nature kind of response. And so I am trying to be much more intentional about using that question, and making sure that I'm really like, no, really, how are you? I want you to be honest with me. I want you to share. And if I'm not in a place to hear how someone is, to not just ask as a second thought or as a formality, right? Number two is being mindful of the needs of others. Being alert and sensitive to what triggers your loved ones can help them navigate the shifts in their mood. And it's interesting with this because so often, there's this little side road in the spiritual development community that talks about how, the reaction that others have is not about you. And there's yes, and um yes, and the reason I say yes and to that is because if we are aware of someone's triggers and we claim that we love them and we care for them, yet we're doing the things purposely that trigger them, to me that's like the opposite of caring. And so while yes, we absolutely cannot control someone else's reaction to our own behavior, I do believe it's not a walking on eggshells thing. It's a caring for other people thing, that it is great to be mindful and aware of how our behavior affects other people. I think that's really important. Um, Number three, reconnecting online to catch up with your friends and family living far away or those you haven't spoken to in a long time reopens relationships. How many people do we have on our friends list on social media that we have not spoken to? I am just as guilty of this as anyone else. This is a great day on World Caring Day to reach out, say, hey, how are you doing? Do you want to get together, or checking in on the family, anything like that. I love that idea. Number four, making time for your loved ones. We know everyone gets busy, but don't become a stranger to your friends and family. So, and you guys know how I feel about busyness, or not really so much busyness, but the I don't have time, because we're all given the same amount of time in the day. It's just a matter of how are you choosing to prioritize it. So let's be honest about that. Number five, writing a note. You'll be surprised how big of an impact little notes of encouragement can have on the mood and well-being of others. And if writing notes is something that you're not accustomed to doing, or is something that you're like, hey, like that sounds really neat, but I haven't really done it, check out the book Thursday's Note from Sharon Saraga Walters, who's been on the show. It encourages you to write a thank you note or a note of thanks, every single Thursday. Or you could pick a different day of the week. There's no like Thursday's note police. I think Sharon would agree. If you pick a day, you're good. But go ahead and pick a day and write this note. But she has these prompts in Thursday's Note, which are really, really helpful. The book is in our Amazon shop that you can find the link to in the description of the video. So definitely go check that out. But I love that, writing a note. Little notes of encouragement can impact others in a big way. And then, of course, sharing your story. You can head over to worldcaringday.org and share your story of caring for a loved one through a challenging health journey. You can also read other stories to feel inspired. And you can join in the conversation about World Caring Day by spreading the word. Sharing acts of kindness will boost the World Caring Day, especially when you use hashtag World Caring Day on social media. So I love all that. I love all that. Amazing. So that was the thoughts from about World Caring Day from nationaldaycalendar.com. And I wanted to kind of tie the idea of World Caring Day into what we do here on Project Joy Live. And we've been in this series of talking about compassion a lot, because I really believe one of the things that I've been thinking about over the last couple of months are, what are the cornerstones for me of being joy? We talk about not just searching for joy and creating joy, but believing that we are the joy, and that encompasses the whole of our being and life experience. Okay. But what are the cornerstones for me of really feeling it? And one of those things for me is, in fact, compassion. And that's why this compassion, moment of compassion series that we've been doing here on Project Joy has been so important to me. But um, one of the things that, and I would love for you guys to chime in the comments wherever you're joining us this morning. If you're joining us live or on the replay, that's cool too. What is something that you deeply care about? I would love to know in the comments, what is something that you deeply care about? But the question that I came to ask myself this morning is, how do we come to care about something? How do we come to care about something? How do we get to that point? This is a soul Saturday morning coffee rabbit hole kind of question for those of you ladies. If you know, you know. Or not just ladies, any of you folks that have joined us for Soul Saturday Morning Coffee. It's a Saturday morning coffee for sure question. But how do we come to care about something? Is it that someone told us that we had to care about something? Is it that we've spent time and then we grow to care about something? Is it, and it could, there's no right or wrong answer here. I'd love to hear you guys chime in the comments as well. Um, is it that uh, similar to if you're taught, you saw other people care about something, so you care about something too? And a couple of the things that I thought of in my mind, of how I came to care about certain things include really traumatic stories, or really challenging times that where I went from not knowing about something in shoved into knowing about it because of something that happens. And then I come to care about it because now I know, or it impacts me in a really big way. And so, this question of how do we come to care about something, how can we use that question to increase our capacity for love, compassion, and understanding? So I'm thinking about this morning and going, okay, if someone says that if something is meaningful to someone else, if someone that I know cares about something in a deep way and I don't understand it, I've never experienced it, I don't get it, might not even know what the hell they're talking about, whatever the situation is, okay, I can pause now and I can say to myself, I wonder what they had to go through. Or I wonder simply how they came to care about that. And you can compare it to things that you have come to care about in your own life. So, for example, Brittany said children. Brett Weiss over on Facebook this morning said his grandchildren. I care very deeply about my children as well. I assume that I will care very deeply about my grandchildren when and if I have them as well. And there's part of me with family where we think about maybe it's a learned thing, maybe it is absolutely another rabbit hole. Rhonda, spirit essence out there joining us this morning for another rabbit hole conversation. So it's interesting, because I think about family and I'm like, is that just a learned thing, or do we care simply because of the title of family? But then I think about, there's a lot of family that maybe don't necessarily care, and not everybody's the same, and that's another conversation. But let's take children. Okay, we carry them for 9 months. Not necessarily a trauma, but it could be. I think it's an experience nonetheless. Okay. So we carry them for 9 months in our bellies. And then there's the birth experience. Some of that could have been traumatic for some of us. And so all of that experience that we had, and I'm trying to using this as an example of how we get to care about something. We have all of this experience. Brittany said it's a roller coaster of an experience. Absolutely. But it's a lot. Would you agree that having a child, there's a lot involved? Okay. Even if you go to adopt a child, that's a whole process. Okay. So think about how much was involved with getting to that point of that child. And now you deeply care for that child. Okay. So I'm thinking about this in a way of how I can increase compassion and caring for someone that I might not understand why they care about a certain thing. Have you ever known someone who gets really gung ho about whatever charity they're a part of, or whatever? We talk about national days all the time, awareness days, things like that. They are all excited. They are wearing the colors. They're wearing the t-shirts. Every 5 minutes they're talking about things. And then you sometimes sit back and be like, wow, like that's really a lot. They're really into that thing that they're talking about. And I think instead of jumping to that, we can go, wow, I wonder what they had to go through in order to care so deeply at that level. And it can create this space of compassion. I think about two people that live with invisible illnesses, for whatever those things might be. I mentioned narcolepsy earlier, or CFS, or fibromyalgia, or chronic pain of some kind, any of these things that people experience. And they might express it to you and you don't see anything. So you think to yourself, how could they be experiencing those things? How could they care so much about finding a cure to all of these things? So asking yourself, what must they have been through? What must their experience have been in order to come to care so deeply about this thing? And compare it to something that you care deeply about, that encompass so much in order for you to get to that space of caring. And maybe you still can't understand. Maybe you don't get it when we talk about things like religion and politics and health and some of these really deep rabbit hole topics. Maybe it's too much for you to get. But if you pause and you say, okay, so I care really deeply about this thing, and I know what I went through to get to that space of caring, we've now got a place where we can meet. It may not be for the same thing. We may not care about the same thing. We may not even be on the same planet thought process wise. But to think about the energy, the trauma, the experience, all of those things that we went through, we may not have gone through the same thing, but we both went through something in order to get there. I believe that can really take us to a new space of compassion, which I think it's for me, it's a cornerstone of joy. It's a cornerstone of joy. And I'm going to be talking more about these cornerstones coming up as I'm making these mental notes in my head about all of these things. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and come back. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these things in the comments. We're going to take a quick break, come back with birthdays and announcements and all that fun stuff. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Friday, June 7th, 2024. We're about halfway through the year, boys and girls. Yes, I'm going to keep reminding you of that because, look, I think it's oh my God. Speaking of rabbit holes, I saw something really interesting earlier. It was a video. Was it Aristotle? I don't know. It was some sort of quote from Aristotle, I think, about time. I'm going to go back and hunt it down, and maybe I'll show it on the show next week because we'll really be going towards the center of the month. But anyway, yeah, it was interesting because it talked about the present and then the past and the future, and none of it really existing. So fun. Talk about a fun rabbit hole. Yeah. Fun time. Another fun time is when you have a birthday. So we're going to celebrate those right now.
Happy birthday to you.
You guys, I have so many birthdays to go over this morning. We have a big birthday in our house coming up on Saturday, which is exciting. And then there's so many birthdays. So in the world of celebrity today, Iggy Azalea. Iggy is 34 years old today. Actor Liam Neeson is 72 today. I don't know why I didn't process that he was in his 70s, but here we are. Liam Neeson, happy birthday. The incredible, the incomparable, the memorable Prince himself, who passed away in 2016, had a birthday today. Also, Tom Jones, a legend in his own right, 84 years old today. Dean Martin, another in the music world, another incredible voice, who passed away in 1995, had a birthday today. Also, the celebrities in my life. Listen, we've had a lot over the last couple of days. I was not here on Wednesday. And then we have today, and then tomorrow and Saturday, or tomorrow and Sunday, there's also some amazing birthdays. So let me go down the list here, okay? Breakthrough Show alumni, Fred Moskowitz has a birthday, or had a birthday. I think it was yesterday. So happy birthday, Fred. A couple of my family members, my uncle Kevin Cushing had a birthday. Uncle Bill Rowland had a birthday. Also, Sarah Beth and Jesse Yamakowski, some friends of mine, had a birthday. Coming up over the weekend, though, my daughter's, one of my daughter's dance teacher, Margaret Carroll, has a birthday. My good, dear, amazing, wonderful friend, Daria Nashit, has a birthday. Robert Hecker from back in school days, Breakthrough Show Network alum and Connecticut goddess, Sarah Roccasano, has a birthday. Sarah, love it. Coming up on Sunday, my friend Darren Sprinkle has a birthday, and then another dear friend of mine, Tamara Hunter, has a birthday. And then tomorrow we are celebrating the 17th birthday of my oldest daughter, Nina. We took her to Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen last night at Foxwoods Resort and Casino here in Connecticut, in Mashantucket. And so had a great time. She's a big fan of Gordon Ramsay. And so, and by the way, for my fellow vegans out there, for those of you that think Gordon Ramsay hates vegans, he doesn't. Gordon Ramsay has an amazing vegan menu at Hell's Kitchen that we just adore. So go check that out as well. So all of that said, I am going to run out of air this morning. There's a lot that Nancy's like, that's a lot of Gemini birthdays. It sure is. It sure is. And I had 2 more coming up in my household this month. Yay, me. All right. All of that said, here we go. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Iggy Azalea, Liam Neeson, Prince, Tom Jones, Dean Martin, Fred Moskowitz, Kevin Cushing, William Rowland, Sarah Beth and Jesse Yamakowski, Margaret Carroll, Daria Nashit, Robert Hecker, Sarah Rocassano, Darren Sprinkle, Tamara Hunter, and Nina Dugas. Only one breath. Happy birthday to you. To all those that are celebrating, I hope you're set up to have an amazing day. Celebrate your birthday. Listen, I already said it last week. This is your permission slip that you need to celebrate your birthday all damn month. You're welcome. So I hope you're set up to have an amazing time, whatever you choose to do for your birthday. And with that, let's find out what's happening on the Breakthrough Show Network tonight and through tomorrow. All right. So coming up after Project Joy Live this morning, we are having our Pomodoro business co-working session. It's not really a business co-working session. It's just co-working. You can work on whatever you want, whether it's yourself, your house, your kids, your work, your chores, whatever, writing a book, whatever you need to do with your time, come join us for co-working. We check in at 9:55, start promptly at 10 a.m. Eastern time and work together until 12. So come and join us for that. You can find all of our events at the Breakthrough Show Network.club. The Breakthrough Show Network.club. When you get there, our Pomodoro sessions take place in the collaborative co-working space. So check that out. This afternoon, very excited. Okay. I get to be Vanna White for you guys for just a moment. Let me come back to my 1 p.m. today. We have an all new episode of the Breakthrough Show with an incredible photographer, an amazing guest. Richard Koch is going to be here. I am so excited about this. He has two incredible picture, like I call them coffee table books, because they're like books that you can have, the really nice books you can have on your coffee table and like talk about it or flip through or whatever. First one is called New York, New York, and it features his beautiful photography from all around New York. There are so many just absolutely incredible photos. So we're going to talk all about his work and his brand new book called, please hold. They're really big, heavy books, you guys. His newest work is called Tokyo, Tokyo. And I listen, you all know how I feel about rabbit holes and stories and all of these things. What an incredible, there's so many stories in here and there's no words. There's no words. It's just absolutely beautiful photography. And so Richard is going to be on the show this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the Breakthrough Show to talk about his photography, his newest book, and some of his views on the world, which I think you guys are just going to be absolutely in love. So make sure you check that out today on the Breakthrough Show, 1 p.m. For those of my friends here that are hosts, we do have our monthly host meeting tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you're like, hey, I might want to host a show too, reach out and let me know and we can have a conversation. You can always email me, jessica@thebreakthroughshow.com, or you can go to thebreakthroughshownetwork.com and click casting and you'll find my calendar there. You can book a time and we're happy to chat about it. As always, tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m., we have Soul Saturday Morning Coffee that's open to everyone. Again, the Breakthrough Show Network.club. You can also get their .com. It's just an extra click away. And we have these beautiful rabbit hole conversations like we've had here on the show today. So I invite you to join us for that. And of course, we have an all new episode of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light, coming up on Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Really excited to have co-hosted for this episode. We recorded it yesterday. Barry Little. Listen, it's a whole rabbit hole. Okay. It's a whole rabbit hole. It's just, it's wild. It's wild. Listen, Brittany was obsessed, whatever, impressed that I did that on just one breath. Just one breath. So glad to see you. That's Miss Mandy B down there. Good to see you today. Listen, the episode is so good. You're going to need to take notes and then probably rewatch it 950 times to grasp what's happening. All of that being said, I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing weekend. We had behind the scenes here, we had a really roller coaster week. One of my children had to be taken by ambulance on Wednesday. It's all good. Everyone is great. Everyone is wonderful. We have follow-up today. We have all kinds of great and wonderful stuff going on, but it's been one of those kind of exhausting weeks. So I, for one, am so excited for the weekend, for hopefully some rest. And I want to give you guys that permission slip that you need today to get yourself some good rest this weekend. Okay. And come back fresh with us for an all new episode of Project Joy Live on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. I want to thank you so much for joining us today, wherever you are in the world. I love you to pieces. And I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
I've been lifting myself up, yeah, I've been climbing.